Hello guys, today we're going to be talking about the new class called Mercedes. It is a class that came out on March 23rd update, and we're going to be talking about the overview of the class, we're going to be talking about the stats, and also the skill build. So let's talk about the Mercedes class itself. It is a class that uses a crossbow. As you can see, it uses dual crossbow, but as equipment wise, it only counts as one. And just like Kaiser, it uses some kind of arrow that gives you some kind of, some defense and all stats plus HP. And I believe that the last one is level 120, if I'm not wrong. So, what is this class good for? This class is very good at single target DPS, and it is very good at killing bosses. To be honest, this class is very OP. It is more OP than Angelic Buster. And ABs used to be the top dojers, but now mercs are. These guys, this character actually does so much damage compared to AB or any other classes. You're going to feel the difference right away when you get to 4th job and you get the skill called Ishtar. I'll show you right now. This skill is really OP. At max, it lasts 8 seconds, and it shoots really fast. And combined with final attack, what final attack does is there's a certain chance of you doing extra damage. And so for stat wise, we're going to be talking about it afterwards, after this skill build. So let's talk about the skill first. Mercedes, for Mercedes, there are a couple of main skills you're going to be using. The very first one is Ishtar. Ishtar's ring is the main skill. And your secondary skill is going to be strike dual shot. I know there's an advanced strike dual shot, but according to this, and after testing, this says over here, strike dual shot damage plus 7%. This extra 7% only applies to the strike dual shot, not the advanced strike dual shot. I realized it later on after testing both skills. And the next main skill would be Ancient Spirit. I would consider this a main skill because a buff, because it gives you a lot of HP. And Mercedes actually depend on a lot of HP because they have so little defense that they're very fragile. So if they have more HP, they will be able to take more damage, and they will be able to survive the boss's attack. And using automatic HP/MP pet, you will be able to survive any hit. And using pots, you could recover without bothering about defense or anything. That's why I consider that another main skill. And for the last skill, I'm sorry, excuse me, I would consider Spirit Infusion or Oblivion Roar, because you get 20 attack, or you get 10 attack plus critical rate. Excuse me again. So, let's talk about critical rate. A lot of you guys are going to be asking this question. Which stat increases the critical hit rate of Mercedes? But you don't have to worry about that, because if you max out this sharp aiming, you're going to end up with like 40 something percent critical rate already. That's already high. And using the skill plus equipments, you will be able to reach 100% crit rate without putting any without putting any stats on, you know, critical hit rate, not hit rate, critical rate stats. So you don't have to worry about that. You're gonna end up with 100% crit rate if you have, if you get the end gear plus the skill and the first skill called sharp aiming. So now, what do you have to max? You have to max out Ishtar, and in order to max out Ishtar, you have to max out Advanced Strike Dual Shot, and you have to max out Advanced Final Attack, you have to max out Defense Break, and you have to max out Dual Bowgun Expert. These two skills, these two passives, because one gives critical damage and accuracy, and this one gives you more critical damage plus attack. And final attack, as I said before, it gives you a chance of doing much more damage. At the end, I think it does extra like 60% more damage. So it's very useful. I could be wrong, but it actually shows difference. Now the second. Okay, I think it'll be easier to just start using the skill points and explain it later on. So in order to max out Ishtar's ring, you have to max out Advanced Strike Dual Shot because it requires 15, and this is the max of 15, master of 15 skill points. And in order to max this out, you need 20 Strike Dual Shot, which is the third skill, third job skill. And this one, in order to max this out, you need to have final shot 10 or higher. And final shot is on the second job. And in order to max, not max, but as you can see, it's master of 10, so you need to max this out. In order to max this out, you need 5 speed dual shot. So we're going to be starting with 5 speed dual shot. We're going to put 5 here, and then we're going to move on to final shot. We have to max this out. 10 here, and then you have to move on to strike dual shot, and you need 20. We're going to talk about this later on, but for now we're going to put it as 20. And now we could start putting skill points on advanced strike dual shot. We're going to put 15 and max it out. Oops. It's mastered. Now you could put skill points on Ishtar's ring, and we're going to max this out. This is the main skill. The touch screen's going nuts. Okay, this is really getting annoying. 1 second. Okay, there you go. Come on. Okay, there you go, maxed out. Now we're going to go to the first one, and you're going to put 1 on acrobatic jump, because what it does is when you jump, you could actually jump the second time, and because we don't have a lot of skill points to spare, we're going to only put 1. And for sharp aiming, if you have a end game gear that has a lot of critical rates, and you want to put put your stat points on critical, a stat that increases critical rate, then you don't have to put it on this and use it, put it on somewhere else. But for me, I think it's very useful. It could save you a lot of stat points. So I decided to max this out. So 25 here. maxed out. Now the second slot skill. Before anything, we're going to max out final attack. This is very important. This is one of the main skills you have to max out. So we max this out, and then go to the fourth one. We should be able to max this out. Yep, we're going to max this out. There you go. Now we're going to come back to fourth one, and there's no requirement for this, so we're going to max out, I would say put one on this and max this out. $25. We're going to go back to the second job, and we're going to talk about what to put it on. As you can see, I have 43 skill points left, and because I'm not a max level, I'm only about 134. I still have skill points coming in, and those skill points, I think I have 32 extra skill points coming in. Combined with 43 would be 75 left. 75 left. In the end, you want to max this out. Well, not max it out, but you want to put, at least a couple of points there. But you want to max this one first. But as I said before, you could argue about this choice because some people prefer to have different buff, but for me, I like having critical rate. So I'm going to put, I'm going to max this out because for me, I don't plan to get, plan to put any stats on, stats that increases critical rate. And because in the end, I'm going to have a lot of extra stats from the equipments, I don't think I will really need the critical rate. I mean, not critical rate, but I mean by I don't have to spend any stats on stats that increases critical rate. And I believe that putting one would be very useful on this because Nexon came up with level 130 dungeon, and those monsters, there's a monster that is level 180, and even though they hit 1 damage to me, they are level 180 and they're really hard to hit. So putting one stat will give you 10 accuracy and 1 mastery. I think it's worth it to spend it on there. And as well as this, putting 1 on here gives you 5 strength and 5 dex. I have maxed this out before, but it only goes up to like 14 strength and 14 dex, so I don't really recommend you to spend any more points on there. Some people could max this out instead of the critical rate, as I said before, but I like critical rate, so I'm just gonna stick with critical rate. And you want to max this out. And because I'm lacking some points, I'm going to put 1 here so I could, make use of that buff. And I'm going to put the rest of the points here. And with the rest of 32 points left, I'm going to max this out, which is 14 points, and 32 minus 14 would be about 15, 16, 18 points left. And with 18 points left, I'm going to put it on here, and that will be the end of the skill build. With the rest of the point, you put it here. Now for stats. As I said before, a lot of people ask questions about which stat increases the critical rate. I do not know for sure, but I know for sure that that having int and luck increases critical rate in my, estimation, or from what I'm seeing. From the equipment that gave me luck and int, it increased my critical rate as well. So I think both of them increases my critical rate. But having 3 points on int gives you 1 accuracy, so putting it on int would be a bit useful. Putting it on luck, I'm not too sure. I didn't test it yet, but on Kaiser, luck gave more critical rate than int. But I'm not too sure. If anybody finds it out, please let me know, and I'll post it up here. And for strength wise, when you put points on strength, it increases your attack and defense and max HP. And for dex, it increases all these stats, but mainly it increases attack, and maybe 1 point every like 3-4 stats of dex increases 1 accuracy. And it also increases defense every 2 or 3 points. So in the end, I believe that having mixture of strength and dex is very healthy, because you need dex for some accuracy to hit, and it increases attack too. But having too much attack is not very beneficial if you get one-shotted by bosses in higher floor dojos. So you might want to spend a lot of points on strength, because strength increases attack and defense and max HP. More HP means you could take more hits, and because of the auto HP / MP pet, you will be able to survive almost every hit. And I have been comparing strength and dex. I put 10 dex and 10 strength before, and there's not too much of a difference. The only difference is that when you put 10 strength, it's about 1 attack and 2 defense ratio. And for dex, when you put 10, it's 2 attack and 1 defense ratio. So sure, it's a lot of defense. There's a lot of difference, but if you cannot handle the hits from bosses, you might want to spend points on strength. Unless, if you have VIP 19 and you have 100% extra defense, then I don't think it's gonna be any problems for you. But for most of the people, they don't have VIP buffs, and for those people, I recommend you putting a lot of points on strength. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you found it useful, and I'm sorry about stuttering and thinking while making this video, but I'm still not too sure about how the merc should be built until I get to max level and get end gears. But I know for sure about the skill build. The skill build should be about optimized. It should be optimized, so I don't think you have to worry about it. It's just the stats that you have to worry about. But you also have to put in mind that skill build actually affects how you're going to put stats on stats for your class or character. So you just keep that in mind. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering again. Thanks for watching, guys, and there's a lot of other videos out there in my channel. Check them out. And next video I'm going to be creating will be recommended hunting spots. If you like this video or found it useful, please press like, and also subscribe for more videos. I'll leave the links to recommended hunting ground and to my channel, so you could look at all the list of videos that I've made. That is all. Thanks for watching, guys. Happy mapling.